I was going to record a podcast episode about this, but then I really thought of just hopping on live and talking about it and just kind of having this on Instagram for anybody who wants to go back and watch it, or who wants to ask questions, who's live right now. Hey, Leanne. But I really wanted to talk about doing it before you're ready and stepping into your next level and channeling your business intuition and why business gets to be easy for you. I know that that's a lot to cover in a live, but these are the things that I'm processing right now, and I thought it would be really interesting to just kind of talk this out as a self-projected projector so others can see it as well. So, doing it before you're ready. If you already know what your up level is, so let's say you are going through your manifestation process, and your manifestation process is really going to be deciding what you want, knowing where you're at right now, and just kind of going from there to figure out where you want to be and then who that is, and then stepping into that. So if you've gone through this, you already know what your next level is. So then going and doing it before you feel like you are ready, this is what is actually bringing that manifestation to you. And I think that that's something that is really underplayed in a lot of manifestation overall. Because of the fact, hey Hannah, just because of the fact that I think this is one of the hardest parts, because this is where most of the fear comes up. Because then we're like, oh, I'm not ready. I don't have XYZ yet. I haven't learned to do this or that. I haven't learned to do whatever it is, or I don't have, insert whatever your limiting belief is. And then we hold ourselves back, we doubt ourselves, and then we stop doing it. And then we don't actually step into our up level because of the fact that we let our minds tell us, hey, logically, you don't have all these different things to live into that next level. But you don't have to have all these things before you're in that next level. All you have to do is start living that level, and these things will fall into place. And really, when we don't do this, this is telling ourselves that we don't trust ourselves or our intuition. Which brings me to channeling your intuition in your business. So if you're not in tune with your intuition yet, this may be a little bit more difficult just because of the fact that you might question it every time something comes through. But there's a huge difference between intuition and just regular thought. So if it's just a regular thought, it's going to be, or not just a regular thought. A regular thought is your intuition. Let's start with that. A regular thought is your intuition. But if there's urgency behind it, if there is a feeling of lack behind it or fear, that's coming from your ego, and that's coming from this place inside of you that doesn't feel safe. So everything else that you are doing is your intuition. And I think most people don't know this, and this is why I also wanted to bring this. And it won't make any sense until after you've already done it. So here's an example. A few weeks ago, it was the weirdest thing. Me and my boyfriend, we had to walk just to downtown. We're 2 minutes outside of it. So we walked into downtown because he had to go to the comic book store. And so my intuition was like, hey, walk to the coffee shop. I like coffee. I didn't really want coffee that time, but I was like, okay, so I asked him, hey, do you want to go to the coffee shop? And he said, no, not really. I'm not really feeling it. So when we got to the comic book store, we still had 30 minutes before it opened. So I was like, okay, the thought came through again, go to the coffee shop. So I was like, well, since we're already here, I don't really want to wait out here for 30 minutes. Can we just walk to the coffee shop? That'll be fine. Something just fell. It's fine. So we walked to the coffee shop, and in there, we did actually end up getting some coffee and tea. And I saw this mug, and it was just this really cute cat mug. It had a cat on the handle, and it said, I work so my cat can have a better life. And I was like, this is adorable. So I told that to the barista, and the barista told me that they had just recently gotten that from the new gift store that had just opened up that was literally right next to the comic book store. I've seen it before, but I hadn't really stopped in because I didn't really know what it was. Because it was called the Green Goat. Doesn't really scream gifts to me, you know? So I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know, we'll have to go in there sometime to just kind of check it out and see how it is. So we got done with the coffee shop. We walked to the comic book store. He did what he had to do. And as we were walking back, we had to pass this gift shop. And instantly I had this like huge wave of go, go in there. So I stopped and like spontaneously went in, and he was like, okay, whoa, good grief. So we went in there and I saw that they had this local artist like part of the store. And I'm an artist and I make paintings and everything, and I've been looking for a place to start selling my artwork in person. So if I hadn't listened to my intuition to go to the coffee shop, again, it made no sense, but I went there. If I hadn't said something to the barista about the coffee cup, I wouldn't have gotten to know this. But so I went in there and I asked, how do you find your artists? How do you find your local artists? And they were like, well, they usually just come in and ask us if like they can display their stuff. So essentially, I am now being displayed in this artist shop because I followed my intuition. And I would not have known this because, again, if I didn't follow all of those steps, which made no sense to me at the time, I didn't know what the green goat was. I wasn't really interested in looking into it. So until I knew what I was doing, or until I was just following that, based off of the fact that I was trusting, okay, there's a reason why I'm having this thought. Okay, there's a reason I'm having this thought to say this to this barista. There's a reason I feel this strongly about walking in here. If I didn't follow that, I would not be where I am today with that. And this is how your intuition works all the time. So even in the morning, if your intuition is like, hey, put the dishes away. If you don't put the dishes away, like, you don't know what you've just missed out on. And it might not have been attached to the dishes, because usually your mind is on autopilot because of the fact that it's just something that you're already doing. Yes, thank you. But yeah, so it's like just letting yourself go through this and following those thoughts, because all of your thoughts are your intuition, other than the ones that are fear-based and lack-based. So this brings me to the next point. Channeling your business intuition. When you get these intuitive downloads, I also want you to just know or ask yourself, is this coming from a place of fear or love? And actually feeling into both sides will show you which way, or like where this is coming from. For instance, this is one of the things that I'm processing right now. So I had a huge download about my program this last Friday, Manifest Your Soul Business. It has been the only thing I can talk about, it feels like, for the past 3 days because I'm so lit up by it. And it came through so strongly on something. And like the universe made me take a day off on Thursday. And my boyfriend was like, well, maybe it's because there's something big happening on Friday. He was correct. So when this happened, I lost where I was going with that. There was a different thing. There was an Uplevel. There was a story. And it was about this. I'm sure it'll come back to me. But I'm going to keep talking about that anyways. So, following my intuition on downloading this program, creating this program, and then just talking about it. It's really irking me that I can't remember. I feel like I'm going to talk about a different thing that led to it. So one of the ways originally, so I started talking on this live about stepping into your Uplevel. So one of the ways that I figured from my manifestation process of this is how my next Uplevel is, this is how my next level is, so I'm going to step into that. And it was looking for somebody to help support me in my business so I can focus on my zone of genius. So this past week, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I had 3 calls scheduled with freelancers who I wanted to hire to help me out in my business. There was one for writing emails, there was one for writing sales pages, and there was one for writing social media posts. I hired the one for emails, although I honestly don't even think that I really need somebody to help me with this because of the fact that, like, just doing that allowed so much more to come through my intuition Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today. Like, anything that I have put out in the last 4 or 5 days, I mean, this entire time, has been me. And I'm still okay with that. And it gives me like another lens to look through. Okay, I really like writing these emails and I really like writing my social media posts because I'm following my intuition every time I'm doing it. And I can't really have somebody follow my intuition on that. I do think I want to get somebody to repurpose my stuff, so that way it kind of takes, when I'm just kind of chilling and resting and like in recuperation phase, when I stop talking as much as I usually do, and when I'm just resting, it would be really nice to have somebody there who's able to repurpose the stuff that is already so powerful that can just be packaged up nicely and sent out again. Like stuff that I just want to continue to go out. And that was like another thing of just up-leveling and, again, doing it before you're ready. Because I didn't feel ready. This is my first group program that I have, like, launched in probably a year. And this is the only one that, well, the only one so far. Yeah. The only one so far that I feel like is such fire that I'm like, again, this last week I made this really, I don't want to say mushy, but kind of mushy post about the fact that like every time I just remember what my message is, it makes me want to cry because it means so much to me. And just like, I'm not going to cry right now. It's going to be fine. But like knowing how many people I'm going to be able to impact and help with this message is like fulfilling, and it makes me super happy. And I'm sure that you can see it just watching me. So there's that. I'm jumping around a lot on this. This is who I am. Welcome to the Lillith show. Okay, so we talked about doing it before you're ready. We talked about some uplevel. So uplevel signals. I also wanted to show this. So another thing that I'm processing right now is just the whirlwind of what has happened over this past 4 days. It literally feels like I've done a week or a month's worth of stuff in the past 4 days. And this is like a normal projector thing. And I feel like it's not talked about enough. It's definitely always with manifesting generators. Leanne, you know, you call me and say that I'm like a manifesting generator. But it's so true. Like this is when it comes through, and then I like receipt and then just rest and watch it all be beautifully done. But it's so cool to like see as another projector, like this is your process. It's not that you don't have energy. It's that you need rest at some point, because otherwise you're going to burn yourself out, especially if your root center right here is open. You are very like prone to adrenal burnout. Same thing, none of us have the sacral lit up. So that right there, you got to work with what you have when you have it. And it's not going to be consistent energy, but when you have that energy, use it. Use it to the best of your abilities. And I mean, you're a projector. You know how to use it efficiently. That was a totally different tangent as well. Okay, so doing it before you're ready, up-level signals, channeling your business intuition. I think we already talked about that. If that wasn't clear, leave me a comment, let me know, and I will clear that up a little bit. Why business gets to be easy for you. Okay. You have a message. You have a purpose. There's something that you came here to do and that you came here to help other people with. This is one of the main reasons that you are alive, other than to just play in this 3D world and like touch things and like have delicious coffee and get to roll around in money if you want. Like whatever you want to do is okay. So business gets to be easy for you because you have this message to share. The only reason that it is hard or difficult is because we make it that way. And I don't want us to anymore, because it can be so much easier for you. It can be so much more peaceful for you. It can be so much more just relaxed, and like the only word that I have for it is aligned. And I know that I like overuse that, but at the same time, that's the only word that really does encompass what this is. You came here with a message. Why would it be hard for you to share that message? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? There's a purpose that you have. Why would it be hard for you to live out your purpose? Again, that doesn't make any sense. It makes sense that it would be easy for you to live in alignment with your message, with your purpose, so you can impact people and change the collective and raise the vibration of everything. Because when you are good, when you are happy, when you are in alignment, when you feel like yourself and you're content or you're happy or you're excited, when you are vibrating at this level of just love and like joy, you bring this to other people. And this is just a benefit of you living the way that you want to live. And then they will be empowered to do it too. And it's like this chain reaction. So it's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be difficult. It is meant to be easy. We make it hard by telling ourselves that it has to look a certain way, that it has to be a certain way, that we have to do business a certain way, that we have to talk a certain way. If you've watched this video so far, I am not doing anything the way that anything should be. I did not jump on here with one topic. I jumped on here with 5. I did not jump on here to talk in a very straightforward, linear way. I'm very rational in the way that I talk. I mean, I have this rationalization channel right here, but that doesn't mean it's rational and linear in the way that we think it is. And that is the beauty of it, because and this is like the biggest thing. We are limitless beings. That's the way we were meant to be. The only reason we have limitations is because we were told when we were younger that we have limitations. When you came here, you didn't start telling yourself, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. No. Again, that doesn't make any sense. It's being here and going through all of this and stepping outside of that where we can see, oh, wow, I'm actually not limited by this. It's that I'm allowing myself to be limited by this. And obviously there's a little bit of stuff to work through there. There's definitely trauma things, and it's not your fault for you being limited throughout your life so far. However, it is your responsibility to release yourself from these limitations going forward. And it could be as easy for you as just making that mental shift and then doing what you want to do. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out process of healing, trauma healing, all of this other stuff. You don't need to go through all of these different, dredging, sad, depressed times. You don't have to. Yes, you do need to heal things, but it doesn't have to be hard. Again, why does it have to be hard? It doesn't have to. The way that we heal is by becoming aware of it and then choosing differently. Allowing ourselves to choose differently. And that can look any way that you want it to. Any way that actually feels correct for you is the way it is meant to be for you. And this is the whole message I truly feel of my Manifest Your Soul business program. Because streamlined strategies are like nails on a chalkboard to me. I can't do it. I don't like it. I don't like boxes. Boxes are constrictive. They feel suffocating, and I do not like it because I can't be myself in it. So why am I putting myself in a box? Why are we all putting ourselves in boxes? And I understand that we all need to feel connection and things like that. But what if we were able to feel connection and be different? I feel like this is a breakthrough concept. However, it's also not new. It's something that a lot of people are talking about, but I don't feel we're all living it enough. That was a lot to get out. That was a rant. That was a rant channeled through intuition. Leanne says true. Yes. So true. Again, so Manifest Your Soul business is personalized. And I know that it may seem like going through a group coaching program would be hard or difficult to be personalized, but it's not. Leanne says, this is making me feel really hopeful that I don't have to always grow through this massive process. Yes, to change your beliefs. You don't have to. And it's really once you allow yourself, like right now, that right there, it's going to completely change for you going forward. There will be times, I'm sure, of like, you know, where it kind of gets to a place of peak. But I also want to say when we go through changing our beliefs, when we go through finding these limiting beliefs, the reason why we have to break down to break through is because we've avoided it for so long that now it's like an explosion. So the earlier on that you can recognize that this is a limiting belief, the easier it will be for you to just shift it. And it will become easier and easier as it goes on. And I also want to say that you will never actually get rid of fear or limiting beliefs completely. The thing that will change is how much weight you put on them and how much you let it affect you and how much or how long you stay in that feeling of it. Because you definitely need to feel it, but like instead of giving yourself a whole shitty day, give yourself a shitty 5 minutes, a shitty hour, 20 seconds. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a whole like month or week or even a full day. Let's see, what's something else? I also journaled something recently that that was interesting. I think I posted about it, so that was really good. Because there was just a day where I felt like so icky, so like down on myself, and I couldn't understand why. So my brain, you know, intuitively gave me 4 or 5 different prompts that I had, and I found like doubt, self-doubt, shame, guilt, worry, depression, like all of these different things, and like desperation or whatever. And I was like, holy crap. Okay, like, why? Instead of being so involved in our emotions of how we're feeling, take a step back from it and just observe why. Like, why do I feel this? If you don't know right then and there, at least contemplate it, or like get the question out to, why do I feel shameful? Why do I feel guilty? Why do I feel self-doubt? Why do I feel XYZ? And then just take that through you throughout the day, and your subconscious will process this and give you an answer when you least expect it. So, again, tangent. The rules don't matter. The rules of society really do not matter. And especially for projectors and manifesting generators, rules are not your friend because you break all the rules. You are the exception to the rule. And these two types are very different in the way that they show certain things. However, they're also very similar in the way that they do things as well. And I think it's really interesting. Because projectors are efficient, they need a lot of rest, they're good at systems, they guide, etc., etc. Manifesting generators are efficient. They have this energy, they still need rest, and they're still able to guide people, and they're like, essentially it's the same thing, it's just different processes. Again, which is why this business course, I feel like it's right for a lot of people who feel like they don't fit in, but definitely for projectors and manifesting generators, because again, we're just getting out of the freaking box. Destroy the box. There is no more box. There are no limitations on you. If you could do anything that you wanted to do, even if, I know a lot of people joke about this, but even if you didn't want to work for a living, that's possible. That is 100% possible for you. It's 100% possible. Then you start looking in investments, you start looking in other things to where even if you wanted to have a business of some sort, you could still hire out the other parts and not have to do it. There are so many different possibilities once you finally step outside of, I need to do everything, that it's like kind of mind-blowing. Because again, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. It's just finding the way that works for you and the way that actually feels correct for you. And that's what Manifest Your Soul Business is about. It's about finding what is correct for you, why it's correct for you in your purpose, in your message, in your manifestation process, in your business, like all of these different things. And technically, I'm considering this to be a business course. However, this is a manifestation, a business course, a purpose course, and like also a plan into the future of how to run your business. So like it's kind of all in one, but it's like a one-stop shop. It's the only business course that you will ever need to create the business that feels correct for you. It took me 2.5 to 3 years to figure out this frickin' process. And it was hard for me because I made it hard. So I want to help other people make it easy because it can be easy. It can be so much easier. So I want to leave you with a few of these questions. Take them, journal on them, and start thinking about them because this is the beginnings of how to really find your purpose and find your message. And then I'm probably going to get off because I'm losing daylight here. But stepping outside of yourself to see your brilliance. Number 1, what do you wish everyone knew? What do you wish everyone knew? Keep in mind, not all of these questions are going to work for you, but 1 or 2 or maybe 3 are going to resonate and they're going to pull out another layer. So what do you wish everyone knew? Number 2, what do you wish others didn't struggle with? Probably something that you've struggled with in the past, probably something that you may or may not still struggle with, but what do you wish others didn't struggle with? Number 3, what has been a recurring theme in your life? Just look back over the past 20, 30, 50, 70 years, at any point. What has been a recurring theme in your life? And then number 4, what do you wish you knew when you were either a child, a teen, even just 5 years ago, 1 year ago? But what do you wish you knew earlier? Look into these 4 questions, write this down, journal on it, even if you just want to read one, and again, go off, do your thing, live your life, and just let the answer kind of come to you and come out through your subconscious. And this is going to give you some signposts, some goalposts into what you're here for, what your purpose is, what your message is. And yeah, so I think that's all I had to say. But the sales page is finally up for Manifest Your Soul Business. I wrote that straight from intuition, so I'm really excited about that. Check it out. The link is in my bio. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I also included on the sales page how to make this decision in alignment with your human design authority. So whether or not you have emotional, sacral, splenic, ego, self-projected, mental, or no authority. Those are all on the sales page for you. That way you can make this decision in alignment with yourself. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I did extend the period. This is the other thing. One of the things that I did today or yesterday, one of the 2 days, I asked myself which decision would be the most loving for me with this program. Would it be to end this on, like, close the doors on November 5th and then start on November 15th? Or close on November 15th and start on the 29th. And I chose the second one, which I had already put November 5th and starting on the 15th, but I felt so rushed, and I was like, why am I making this harder for myself? I know that the right people will be in this program. I know that the right people will find it no matter what, but I don't need to rush myself. So I let go of that rule, and I was like, we're changing it to the 15th. You're welcome, Leanne. I'm glad that you loved it. But yeah, so that was the actual love versus fear-based that I wanted to give an example of earlier that I just now remembered. But yeah, so if you have any questions about it, let me know. If you like this live, let me know. And it will remain on my page in the Instagram lives. I'm still kind of working on figuring out how this all works because I've only done lives on Facebook before, but either way. Okay, link is in bio. I love you. You are amazing, and you are limitless. Have a good week.